Hey, what's up guys? Bella here. Long time no talk. I just haven't really had a lot of time as of recently to be uploading videos, but in honor of 2016 I did want to put up an end of the year video. I haven't really decided what all types of situations that I'm going to put in this video, but I hope that you guys will enjoy it. And I thank you guys for being a part of my 2016, and I hope that you will continue being part of my new year. So just to start off, I wanted to say a few things that happened to me in the year 2016. Back last year, I see it was in the beginning of this year, actually in October of last year, I found out that I was a type 2 diabetic. And I didn't really know what I was going to do, but by January I decided my New Year's resolution was going to be to figure out how to get rid of it because I didn't want to be a diabetic. So I went on the internet searching for things, and in the very beginning of this year I found something called a ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting that said to cure type 2 diabetes, and I figured, what the hell, might as well give it a try. So I did, and I did reverse my type 2 diabetes, and in the process I also dropped 65 pounds, so I regained my health for the year 2016. And I had numerous different types of jobs that I was capable of doing at the time, but after getting well and feeling better, I went back to doing what I actually went to school for. And while it's not the biggest, greatest job in the world, it's something I really enjoy doing and I have the most fun at doing. It's very fulfilling for me, and I am a nail technician. I do nails and I make really good money doing so. So that's one of my biggest achievements this year, because I actually found my happy again. There's been a lot of things that have gone on in the world for the year 2016, as with the gaming community for 2016. My husband and I started Team Lycan in the beginning of this year, and we have now grown to 34,000 and such subscribers. We have still many of the original people that joined our team are still in our team, and we're going strong, and we just did our very last ever RC challenge. So we are now invite only, and I don't know, it's really grown to be a kind of a big family, and I have a lot of fun hanging out with the guys, talking with everybody, seeing the accomplishments that we've made this year, getting to know new people, obviously, and we always encourage you, if you are interested in joining, to just send a message to one of the leaders, and possibly you could get a private RC. But there's been a lot of things that have gone on. FaZe has really kind of stopped putting out Call of Duty content for the most part, and they basically, I think, just do vlogs. Team Bang ended. As you know, I used to be part of that team. Darth ended. And I used to love that team, had a lot of good friends in it. I just think that things are changing, and as far as teams go in general, I don't really think that people care that much about Call of Duty teams. So I'm looking in 2017 for things to start taking on a new face, and we'll see what happens, what the new rave is. So also in the world in general, there's been a lot of deaths, and I will put those up as the last part of this. But in the news, Brad and Angelina Jolie, Brangelina, the end of their relationship came, and she filed for divorce, and apparently there was some speculations of that it was an unsafe environment for the welfare of their children. So now I guess Brad's having to do therapeutic visits after having some kind of a spat with his son, his oldest son. So I don't know, good luck to them. Michael, he made his big announcement that he was leaving Live with Kelly, and that happened in 2016, and so now she just has various different people on the show for anybody who watches that in the morning. Also in space news, we sent Juno, our spacecraft, NASA did, and we went to the closest flyby of Jupiter, and they got pictures sending him back, so that was really, really cool. I don't know if any of you guys watched it when it was streaming, but that was a really big deal. They successfully reached Jupiter on the 4th of July, and I remember on the 4th of July, after we watched the fireworks, we watched the live stream that night from NASA. It was very, very cool. That robotic spacecraft has visited the planet many times, but Juno is focusing on learning more about that gas giant and the atmosphere and the magnetosphere and the origins and the structure of it. So The agency also launched an asteroid sampling mission called Origins. That probe is heading out to visit the asteroid Bennu, and it's expected to return in 2023 with a sample of that space rock. So that's very cool. We'll see what that brings. Also, the construction of the James Webb Space Telescope was completed in November, and they're going to be putting out the largest ever space telescope, and it's going to be launched in 2018. And the telescope's primary mirror segment was assembled in February at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland. It's expected to reveal information about the origins of the universe. So that's going to be freaking awesome. And I'll put a picture of that. Also, Journey to Mars. I mean, there's a lot of movies that have come out about Mars and whatnot, and NASA has said it hopes to send humans to Mars in the 2030s. And there's I think a record-breaking 18,000 and some odd Americans applied to become astronauts in the year 2016. That's amazing. They also found water, fluid, and stuff like that on Mars. They found an ice cap there as well. So a lot of big things coming out of NASA and a lot of exciting stuff, whoever's into the whole sci-fi thing. So, as you know, we have a new president, Donald J. Trump, and I know a lot of you out there were very, very salty about that. Personally, I like him. I think that he's talked some shit in the locker room, but I'm pretty sure I don't know any guy who hasn't, and furthermore, I don't know any girls who haven't either. And a lot of people think he's misogynistic and he's against women and things like that. But honestly, I just think that he's blunt and, speaks his mind and doesn't really care. He, has no filter. And just because he says it out loud, people get offended. What about Hillary and all these other candidates out here that probably do the same shit, but they just kiss ass to make themselves look good? I mean, honestly, she's a freaking puppet. And honestly, only the electoral college votes even matter, not about the popularity vote or anything like that. So he won fair and square. It is what it is. So yeah, we just concluded with our 44th first ever black president, and I don't think the world was ready for the 45th first female president. And even if we were ready for the first female president, I just don't feel like it was her. So there's enough of the Bush administrations and enough of the Clinton trying to do. I mean, it's just, we don't want it to become repetitive. Everybody wants change, so let's give the new guy a try. I mean, he is a businessman. He has done a lot of great things, and he has done a lot of business things. So if anybody could probably help repair our situation, I mean, I think it would be him. So, yeah. Anywho, I was really sad to see that Bernie Sanders backed out and that he ended up giving his support to Hillary Clinton, because I personally would have voted for Bernie. I really liked Bernie. There was also on January the 16th of the new year, the first ever flower was grown in space. It was a zinnia, and it was aboard the International Space Station using the NASA Veggie system. I thought that was really cool. On February the 2nd, the first case of Zika contracted on U.S. mainland in Texas, and it was the second known sexually transmitted case confirmed in Texas. On February the 9th, Super Bowl 50 Denver Broncos defeated the Carolina Panthers 24-10 at the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, on February the 17th, the oldest known case of human Neanderthal sex 100,000 years ago, revealed by Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology. 50,000-year-old Neanderthal woman's remains from Alta Mountains shows traces of Homo sapiens DNA. That is amazing. Also on the 17th, a car bomb attack on military convoy in Ankara, Turkey. On February the 21st, a lock of John Lennon's hair sold for $35,000 at an auction in Dallas, Texas. What? That was crazy. On May the 7th, Peyton Manning announced that he will be retiring from the Denver Broncos and the NFL. that was some sad news for a lot of people out there. I'm not so much into sports and football and stuff, but my son is, and I live in Colorado, so the Broncos is pretty much life here. So yeah, that was a really hard thing for a lot of people to hear. Let's see. On March 17th, archaeologists announced discovery of Iron Age warrior king burial ground with 75 graves, 2,500 years old in Pocklington, Northern England. Amazing. I mean, that is crazy. On April the 6th, France passes legislation making it illegal to pay for sex. So, it's now illegal to pay for sex in France. On April the 6th, the first baby born with DNA from 3 parents through mitochondrial transfer in Mexico. I don't even know what kind of fucked up that is, but that shit sounds crazy, and I don't even want to know what might happen there. So they're going to be like some super kid, some shit out of the freaking movies. So yeah, that's crazy. On April the 7th, the longest ever captured python found on Penang in Malaysia. It was 26 feet, 8 meters. That is huge. Like, that could eat you. It could eat a large man or a very large animal, probably like an elephant. I don't know, but that's crazy. Ugh, that's just disgusting. I don't like snakes in the first place, but that's creepy as hell. On April the 12th, breakthrough starshot scientists and internet entrepreneurs, including Yuri Milner, Stephen Hawking, and Mark Zuckerberg, announced interstellar project to send a robot spacecraft to Alpha Centauri. The search for other people or other living organisms or whatever, aliens, it will never end, people. It will never end. The mothership will eventually arrive. I just know it. I better get my little hat made out of aluminum foil or something. Let's see. On May the 10th, Indian Fertility Clinic announces that a 70-year-old woman has successfully given birth to a baby boy. What? That's amazing. Like, honestly, that is absolutely amazing. I mean, could you imagine being 70 years old and giving birth to a baby? I don't even want to think what that might look like. Furthermore, it could be sad if they don't have a longer life from that age to raise their child, but that's amazing either way you look at it. On May the 27th, 3 ships in 3 days sank, carrying immigrants across the Mediterranean, drowning over 700 people. Very sad. There was a lot of deaths this year, people. There was so many. On June the 7th, a car bomb attack on a police bus in central Istanbul kills 11. On June 9th, U.S. President Barack Obama officially endorsed Hillary Clinton as Democratic presidential nominee, which you see where that went. On June the 9th, the World Health Organization advises delaying pregnancy in areas with the Zika virus. The Zika virus was some real shit, people. On June the 9th, successful attempts to turn CO2 gases into stone underground in Iceland published in the Journal of Science. On June the 12th, gunmen claiming allegiance to the Islamic State opened fire at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida, killing 49, injuring 53. It was the worst mass shooting in the U.S. I know you guys all remember that. There was so many bad things that happened in 2016. I'm honestly excited for 2017 to start, and I hope that it's a much smoother, kinder, loving year. I hope it doesn't just continue getting worse, but as it seems to appear over the years, things just seem to get worse and worse as we go. I don't really know what else to say about that, but I hope that people can start recognizing that we are part of the problem, and people, in general, are the ones who hold the key to making this world a better place, and I firmly believe that. Led Zeppelin on June 23rd was cleared of stealing the riff from Stairway to Heaven from a band called Spirit in Los Angeles court. So they did not do it. God, I love that song, Stairway to Heaven. Who hasn't listened to that a million times? Like, that's such a classic. On June 23rd also, storms and widespread flooding in West Virginia leave at least 24 people dead. And like I said, it was July the 4th, or they say July the 5th, but it was July the 4th that I watched it. NASA's Juno spacecraft successfully entered Jupiter's orbit. So that was awesome. On July 5th, FBI released a report stating that Hillary Clinton extremely careless in handling classified emails, but don't recommend prosecuting. On July the 9th in Dallas, Texas, a lone gunman, he shot and killed 5 police officers, wounding others during a protest march against fatal police shootings of African Americans. And the whole Black Lives Matter thing was going on as well this year. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but in my opinion, everybody's lives matter, and whenever you say Black Lives Matter, it just seems to me it makes them stand out in not such a good way. Of course their lives matter, but white people's lives matter, Asian people's lives matter, Mexican people's lives matter. People matter, people. Everybody matters, and we should all treat each other with respect accordingly. And there was slavery that's gone on, not just against black people. There's been slaves that were Jews, Christians, Muslims. There's been Indians. Look how the Indians were treated when we came here in the first place. I mean, we basically stole their land. There's just been slavery because humankind, some people, can be real fucking disgusting. And they always want to be in charge or in control or have power. And that is the biggest thing and the biggest problem is people. People need to reality check themselves and start treating each other with respect and care. And if and until they do, it's never going to get better. Things are continuing to get worse, and it will continue to get worse until somebody has a bright idea and, I guess, pays it forward. So, that's my opinion on it. You take it for what you want, but I think everybody's lives matter. So, all this killing and shooting and then all this shit's got to stop. It's just got to stop. So, on July the 6th, Pokemon Go, the real-world mobile game of Niantic, is first released. And I know, I seen you motherfuckers out there walking around with your phone, walking in telephone poles and shit, trying to fucking get Pokemon. That was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool game. I never personally played it, and I didn't want people just, showing up at my house trying to catch one. So, yeah. On July the 6th, African-American Philando Castile is shot by police in St. Paul, Minnesota, after being pulled over for a broken rear light. Killing is filmed. That's another thing. Not all police are bad. My husband's a cop. He's working for dispatch at this time, but he's also a cop. Not all police are bad, but this whole police violence, and there's bad people. It doesn't matter if they're hiding behind a uniform or working at fucking McDonald's. People can be evil no matter what. But we don't need to stereotype everybody who works at McDonald's or everybody who works at the police department just because there's a couple of bad apples. But this whole police violence thing needs to stop. And the whole violence on the police thing needs to stop. It's not going to solve anything, and 2 wrongs don't make a right, people. So I hope you guys wise up a little bit. Just so much sad shit. On July 25th, Verizon announces a $4.83 billion purchase of Yahoo. On July the 28th, earliest evidence of cancer found in a 1.7 million year old toe fossil from Swartkrans Cave, South Africa, published in South African Journal of Science. I mean, cancer, that's the battle we should really be fighting. Too many babies and children and people. My own granddad was taken from me because of cancer. That's who we should be fighting against. That's what we should be doing. On July 30th, an air balloon crashes into power lines near Lockhart, Texas, killing 16 on board. On July the 29th, Hillary Clinton accepts the Democratic nomination for U.S. President at Democratic Convention in Philadelphia. She was the first woman by a major U.S. party. So, good for her. On August the 11th, a Greenland shark declared the oldest vertebrate animal in the world at age 392 years old by an international team of scientists. Amazing. August 12th, Cannes became first French resort to ban the burkini. I have no idea what a burkini is, but if anybody knows, please tweet it to me at XBLBella. I would sure appreciate it, and I don't know what that is, but it sounds hilarious. On August the 16th, you guys will remember the wildfire that broke out in San Bernardino, California. In San Bernardino County, California, it engulfed 15,000 acres, prompting the evacuation of 82,000 people. I remember watching that on the news, and I live here in Colorado, so there's always wildfires and crazy shit that goes on here too, but that was just, we have it a lot. You can never really be prepared for it, but we've had it a lot more, I think, than they have, so I just really felt really bad for them. On August the 17th, floodwaters recede in Louisiana, leaving 13 dead and damaging 4,000 homes. On August the 24th, a 6.2 magnitude earthquake strikes central Italy, northeast of Rome, killed 268 people and it injured 400 people. On August 24th, astronomers announced the discovery of an Earth-like planet named Proxima b, orbiting star Proxima Centauri. I want to go there. On September the 17th, terror bomb in Chelsea, New York, and injured 29 people. September 18th, earliest known fishhooks at 23,000 years old were discovered on Okinawa Island in Japan. The findings were published in PNAS Journal. Very cool. September the 20th, Black American Keith Lamont Scott is shot dead by a black police officer in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it provoked a violent protest in that city. On the 21st, 3 genetic studies published in Nature conclude all non-African descended from one migration out of Africa 50 to 80,000 years ago. Looks like we all came from the homeland, guys. Let's not forget about the Cubs winning the World Series. It was the greatest story in baseball history. The Cubs won the World Series in Cleveland, and it had been after 108 years. They had lost every game. They finally won. It's never been a more compelling baseball tale, like ever. Congratulations to the Cubs and to all their fans. That was a long time coming. Also, in 2016, it's reported that greenhouse gas levels are the highest they have been in 2 million years, reported by NOAA. I don't know, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. A lot of people believe in this whole Planet X Nibiru thing and think that it's coming closer, and because of its approach, it's warming up everything, all the planets, and it's causing the, supposed global warming, and that it actually has nothing to do with us here on the Earth and our technology. Like, let's love the planet, and let's try to be conservative as much as possible and not wasteful, and don't throw your trash out and litter, throw it away. If you can recycle, recycle. Even if nothing else, it can be precautionary measures to give something to your children of the future and the people of planet Earth in the future. I don't know what the future will bring or what it will hold for me or for you, but I hope that it finds us all doing well and in good health. And I just want to take a moment of silence for the deaths of 2016 and all the people and lives who were lost. So I will be putting their photos and names here up on the screen. One of the ones that I do really want to say something about before I go is the whole thing with Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher, as you all know, was Princess Leia in Star Wars, and Debbie Reynolds, which was a huge movie star, was her mother. And Carrie Fisher passed away 3 days ago, and the very next day, her mother's last words were to her own son that she wanted to be with Carrie. And directly after that, she died of a stroke. And Carrie, the day before that, died in a plane of a heart attack. So, actually, she didn't die in the plane. She had a heart attack on the plane, but then after getting to the hospital, I don't think she didn't make it. So, I've never seen anything with any movie stars. I've never seen anything like that where the daughter or a son died and the very next day the father or the mother died. That truly to me says you can die of a broken heart, because just recently before that, Debbie Reynolds, the doctors had said that she was very healthy and that she could live a even way longer life. So I truly believe that she did die of a broken heart. And the very similar thing happened with my grandparents. My grandmother and grandfather died 4 months apart, and she was told after he died by her doctor that she could live many more years because she was extremely healthy. And I truly believe that right shortly after Mother's Day in 2013 that she passed away just because she had a broken heart. Absolutely. So it's the secret of the life of this planet is love, guys. So spare me the bullshit. Just love one another. Put all your love out there. Don't be shady with your love. Love one another. Do kind things for people. If you see somebody who looks homeless, whether you have an opinion about them out on the streets drinking alcohol or whatever you think, there is some possible way that you, having something, could do something for someone else. If you don't want to give them money, why don't you go over to McDonald's and get them a sandwich if they look hungry? Or instead of just thinking about your family at Christmas, you could go over to like a store or a dollar store if you didn't even have a lot. We do this kind of stuff all the time. Buy a pair of gloves or a scarf and give it to a perfect stranger, somebody who looks like they need it. If you can afford it, if you see somebody on the corner begging, you need to realize how much pride they had to throw away just to stand there on a corner with a sign. Could you stand on a corner with a sign begging, looking like that? I mean, you basically have no idea what that person must be feeling or going through, or what it must have taken out of them to stand there. So if even just for a little time you could give it some thought, and the next time you see somebody on the corner, stop and say hello. Don't act like you're better than everybody else. Spread the love. Give them some money. Give them some food. Give somebody a present just 'cause, and you don't even need to know them. I mean, it's rewarding in itself. So, sorry if it sounds corny, but that's what it's all about. It's all about who you are, what you do in this life, and how you'll be remembered. And personally, I just want to love people. I just want to be known to be a good person and to be kind to others. I don't give a shit about being known on the internet. What I do in my real life is what I want to mark my memory. So I want to be known as a good person and somebody who would help people out in their time of need. So I love you guys. I hope that 2016 has been a good year for you. I hope that 2017 will be a year of change and better things for you. And let's just take a moment of silence for these people that we've lost in 2016. Happy New Year.